Hi, my name's Tori, and it is Sunday night, and it is 11:13 on June 22nd. So life is very weird. I mean, extremely weird. Here in Los Angeles, because of the ice stuff and these ice raids, it's just scary to see how empty the streets are. People just aren't coming out. They're frightened. We really need to get a handle on this so that our country gets back together. But anyway, I hope somebody comes on. Hey, there we go. Grisby Liz. Hi. How are you? Thank you for your heart. That's that and the other. I like it. Hey, JBO808. How are you? How are you? I'm still going to say welcome back from Japan. I love that you went there. You have to call me sometime and tell me some of the stories. I want to hear them. Or if you have a place where you're telling them, let me know. Pixie, hi. Great to see you. Good to see all of you. Yeah. Is it fun to be back, JB808, or do you miss being over there? Probably a little of both. That's my guess. Thank you. Will do. Yeah. See if you can either call me or, I'm better at just talking on the phone. So if you can, call me. And I miss being over there. Yeah, I bet. It's a very special place from people I've talked to who've been there. It really is. It's different, right? Very small area, very confined, but super efficient at what they do. It's different than here. Way different. Can you believe what's happened in the last 48 hours? Oh my God. Did you get, numbers of people that you can text and talk to and stay in touch with? JP808? I hope you did. That's always fun. I never adjusted back yet. Oh, yeah, that happened to my friend who went to London, and she's still she's almost back to normal, but it's taken a couple of weeks. Sleeping patterns and everything all thrown off. Yeah, I got to get my shit together. I know. You have to give yourself a break because it takes a while to adjust. It just does. And that's just the way it is wherever you go when you go out of the country. I started talking to a girl out there. All right, good. We'll stay in touch with her, definitely. That's nice. That's really nice. And is there any chance that she'll come over here, or she's really there? All right, so tonight is just sort of an open Q&A. If anybody has any questions or things they want to say, please do. Or if you want to show us any pictures, that would be fun. It'd be really fun to see Japan with you in it too. I hope you have some pictures with you as selfies. If things progress, I'll need to get my shit together and move her out here. All right, good. That sounds good. And she's open for that, right? Good. Well, I would highly recommend it if it moves into something like that. Long distance is a very hard way to have a relationship. So definitely that'd be good. I'm good. Someone's birthday and special anniversary. That's right. I'm so caught up in this whole everything that's happening here in LA with ICE and the protests and now this bombing. And it's just unbelievable. So I'm sort of really playing it low on my birthday. It's sort of like I'm not making a big deal out of it. It's just one of those years. It really is. But I'm happy to know you guys. And I think I'll be able to celebrate my 25th anniversary, because that'll be next month, and that'll be hopefully better. Hopefully, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe your new friend will be over here by then. Wouldn't that be great? How fun that you went over there and met a girl. That's always wonderful when you meet somebody that you really have a good time with. When I went to Norway, I mean, not that we were boyfriend, girlfriend, but we had so much fun together, Andreas and I, because, he helped me wake up too soon. I hear you. But he helped me wake up, and we drove across the country, and it was just amazing to be with a Norwegian telling me all this historical stuff. It was fantastic. It really was. I mean, one of my favorite things, I think I've said it before, but if you haven't heard it, and the houses out in the countryside, they have giant grass growing on the roof. And I said, Andreas, you have to stop. I have to take a picture of this. And I took a picture of it. And I said, why do they have grass on the roof? And you know what he said? Insulation. They're so smart over there. He said they used to have goats that lived on the roof, and they would eat the grass. Yep. And in your heart. That's right. Thank you. Thank you for remembering that. That makes me almost want to cry. It's very sweet. I still, to this day, can't believe that came out of my mouth. I mean, at all. I didn't even know this guy. I only knew him a little tiny bit. I'd never met him or anything, but he was so sane. And I was so alone. And I just said, could I just come sit in your heart? And he goes, yeah. And so from then on, it was like in your heart, and I'd write that all over the place. It was really fun. I miss him. I really do. He was a really wonderful person for a lot of people. But my view is we're lucky that we had to have him, that we got to have him in our lives as long as we did. That's the way I feel. That's real authentically poetic. I know, it really is. I mean, especially that, I was married at the time. I never, I wasn't saying it as an affair kind of thing. It was just, I wanted to be around someone sane and that was safe. And he was. And so it was just like, can I just sit in your heart, and just be at peace? And he was like, yeah, he understood it. It was really great. I mean, someone else might have said, what are you talking about? But he went, yeah, sure. So there you go. It is authentically poetic, though. Thank you. You're really good at this kind of stuff, JB808. I'm so happy you're in my life. I really am. I mean, I'm happy that I get to know everybody that's on my channel, but you're one of my very favorites. You really are. Lately, because there's so much negativeness happening here in LA. So I've been kind of poking around, watching different YouTube things of Dick Cavett. Did you ever see him? It might be out of your age group, but he was a talk show. He was kind of a talk show guy that had different people on. And I saw a show with he and interviewing Carol Burnett and Lucille Ball. And it was like, oh my God, it was fantastic. Hi, Mark. Welcome. Thanks for coming on. I know it's late. I never know if it's too late or not. I'm waiting for someone else to chat, but ILY literally grew up with you. What does ILY mean? I don't know. Does it mean I love you? That's very sweet if it does. That's very sweet that you grew up with me. I didn't know that. I love that story. No wonder I like you so much. Yeah, I love you. Thank you. I was hoping it was that. I thought, oh, maybe it isn't. Yeah, thank you. I know. I feel like we kind of grew up together. I mean, I've a little bit grown up more than you, but a little bit. Aw, I know. Very sweet. You know, Jessica Palmadessa has this thing where she goes around and asks people, "What year do you have to be born to be considered old? You know, what's the year?" Hi, Cat Waz. AU. Hi, nice to see you again too. And it's shocking to see. It's like most of them are like 1997 is the earliest that you could be born to be considered to not be considered old. And a lot of them are in the 2000s now. And you know, I was born in 1947. It's like, wow. I saw her clips. It's terrifying. I know she's out there, man. She is really something else. I gotta hand it to her. And her brother's cool too. Johnny Palmadessa. If you're if you ever want to see somebody take on Trumpsters, he's the guy on YouTube. Johnny Palmadessa, type it in. It's like he's really great. And the other guy I found the other day is Dean. That's what his name is, Dean. And the funny thing is, I sent Dean a message and I said, "You've got to meet Johnny Palmadessa." And I talked to Jessica's mom today and she laughed. She goes, "They know each other. They're friends." She told Johnny, she goes, "Johnny, guess who Tori wrote and said he needs to meet you?" They both were laughing. Do you still have everything sent to her P.O. box? I have to get that information. I think I do, but I'm not positive. Let me look and see. I'm not sure. I don't think it's in this thing. I think it's under Tori Magoo 44, and it's got for more information, and then it should have her P.O. box. But if it doesn't, will you let me know the next time we're on? Because I'll look myself too. Thank you for asking. I've actually got to put some stuff up there. I have all this stuff that I want, but I just always forget about it. That someone might think about it. Hey, I can get her that. You know, that's a good idea. It really is. I had someone help me the other day where I had a big leak. My water and power went way up, and I called them, and they said, "Yeah, you're running 30 gallons an hour in your house." And I said, "No, I'm not. That's not happening." So anyway, she said, "You probably have a leak, and get a leak specialist." And I did, and worked out great. We found it, fixed it. There you go. But I so much appreciate when people can do stuff like that, because I don't know how to do anything like that. I really don't. I've always loved plumbers and carpenters and stuff like that. I really admire that. Someday, like my old roommate, I should have learned from him, because he was here for 7 years and he taught himself how to be a carpenter off of YouTube. He got magazines, YouTube, and he just bought tons of new tools, and he started building. He made a little shop and he just started building. I know, it was really cool. It was really, really cool. He excuse me, he was dying. He was an ex-Seor guy, and his son actually took unlived himself. I forget how you're supposed to say it, but anyway, that's what happened. And he really didn't want to live anymore after that. But then he got lung cancer, and then he did want to live. But that's how it is. So in the meantime, he became a fantastic gardener. You can look up on Facebook, John Dries, Dries. And if you look it up and look at his photos, because I've kept them up there, and you can see my backyard. He's growing all this stuff. He was an amazing gardener. Hi, Lady Jane. Out. Excuse me. Yeah, he was an amazing gardener. and he'd grow all kinds of stuff, and it was delicious because it was above ground. It was like organic. He made sure that it was organic in organic soil that he made. He'd create his own soil, and then, it was just delicious. I mean, the vegetables, oh my God, they were so great. But you can see it on Facebook still. John Dries, Dries. And I got him to go out picketing before he passed away. I said, you got to write up your hat. You got to come out and picket with me and talk to some of the Sea Org guys and let them know you got to get out. And he did. It was really cool. So anyway, do you guys have any questions? Or how do you guys feel about all this stuff that's going on in the world? Lady Jane out? How do you feel about it? Now, it looks like the photograph you have is of a guy. Is that correct? Here's a funny story regarding John's son when he was alive. He got into the internet early on, and he was, on the laptop doing all this stuff, and none of us knew what he was doing. And I love it. And finally he says, his mom says, look, we got to go, James, so come on, tell him you got to go. And he thinks he's in with a bunch of women, right? And they're all texting or, talking online. And he says, well, I've got to go. And it turns out all of them were pretending to be girls. They were all guys, but they were all pretending to be girls. Isn't that funny? Aloha. Nice. Lady Jane out. No, it's Lady Jane Grey. She was a Tudor queen. She's known as the Forgotten Queen. Wow. All right. Nice. The Tudor Queen. That's a good thing to do. That's what my brother did for many, many years, off and on around the world. He'd tutor people in English, teaching them English. He'd be in different countries. And he lives, I talked to him tonight. He's in Thailand on an island. And I said, how are you doing? Because I know a bunch of his friends from Israel moved there. He said they're all fine. And a lot of them are moving to another country. So 9 days, yes. Okay, what does that mean, 9 days? 9 days. What's the 9 days? Fill me in, please. Lady Jane out. 9 days. She's known as the Forgotten Queen, but that's not 9 days. Oh, what did you think about the Father's Day protest? I was there. I thought it was excellent. What did you guys think? Did you guys watch it at all? Did you see it? She was the queen only for 9 days. Wow. Someone at my last job used to have it was a license plate, and I think it was something like 9 days. It was very short amount of time. And I said, what is your license plate about? And she said, that is the amount of time that we in the world have had peace. It was really scary. I thought, who knew? I don't know if it was 9 days or some other thing, but it was a very short amount of time. And that was their license plate. Live. Question. I don't know how to articulate this question, but back when you first left the cult, did you ever ponder what Scientology would be 10 or 20 years later? Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I started speaking out. I wasn't going to, like I've said, but they kept picking on me, so I started speaking out. And then, oh my God, you did? Okay, I don't know, Lady Jane, out what you did what? But that is a great question. I did ponder it, what it would be in 10 or 20 years later. And I never thought it was going to end and neither does some of my friends who were in it for a long time. We think it's going to it is kind of like it is. It's a shell. There's nobody there. There's nothing really happening. Hi, Sophie. And, but sort of like, I think it's the Christian Science Monitor or something like that. It's something like that where it's still around, but nothing's happening with it. And that's what we thought would be with Scientology in 10 or 20 years. And that's exactly what's happening. I mean, it's really not happening. I mean, Miscavige has really screwed it up. Love that. Thank you. It took me forever to write. Oh, it took you forever to write what? What did I love it? Thank you. Oh, it took me forever to write. What did you write? Ooh, Lady Jane out. Yes, she's buried in the Chelsea Old Church. Wow. How interesting. So, oh, you mean it took you forever to write the question? It is a good question. So, and I still wonder it, because it's sort of like, how long are they going to how long is Miscavige going to keep it up? You know what I mean? It's kind of like now he's buying buildings. That's basically what he's doing. There's nobody in the orgs. Write the question because I didn't think it made sense. No, it makes perfect sense. It's a good question. It's a very good question. You should ask other people that too, because it's a good question. Yeah, it's good to see everybody. I know, it really is. And guess what, Sophie? JB808 met a girl over in Japan. I'm not surprised, but I think it's wonderful. They're very cool. Hey, 49ers fan. It was good to hear you on Tori's stream at Big Blue. I know, we had fun. We really did. Did he pop in and I missed him? Oh, yeah, 49ers for life. A generation of young people have no idea what Scientology is. Boy, is that the truth. I never realized it. I really didn't until TikTok. And I have those TikTok things. Like one of my TikTok things tonight is now at 7.2 million views. And it's one of those that I said forever to people, somebody needs to make this video, and nobody would. And so I made it. And it's got 7.2 million views. Yeah, he said it well. I agree. JB808, very good. Do you have something in your background like a clock, spring going back and forth? I have a fan above me. Is it noisy? Because I can turn it off, but I don't have something going back and forth. Well, you can't live forever. I'm just afraid the next person in charge will be just as Yeah, I don't think it's going to continue. I really don't. I don't. I know people think, oh, somebody else will take it over and it's going to go on. I don't think so. I don't. Wow, congrats. Tori's a TikTok superstar. I know, it's amazing especially because this particular subject, which has to do with Scientology after young people and Scientology after people in other countries, especially if they speak two languages. And I kept telling people someone needs to make this video because they are really after, especially Latinas, Latinos, really anybody from any other country if they speak another language, and young people. I give out my cards almost every day. I give someone a card, and they love it. They really do. It's really great. No, I just hear it. It's okay. Was just wondering. Yeah, I know. It's a little noisy, but it's really hot in my room. So it's either this or the air conditioning, and the air conditioning is even noisier. Scientology is going to be going to a relevant as the KKK in about 20 years. Yeah, I agree. If they make it that long. Oh, thank you, Lovett, for putting that on there. I know you're there every single day. Am I? I don't know. I try to answer people's questions and stuff like that because they are so in the dark. I mean, it's just shocking. It's shocking how smart you guys are. And it's shocking how they just, they're very different from the old critics. JB808, I don't know if you'll remember them, the older critics, they were very big researchers, like Mark Bunker. Mark Bunker had a lot of stuff wrong when he first started, but he would hang around me and I would go like, okay, you said this, that wasn't right. And he'd say, well, what is it? And I'd say, this is the facts, or here's where you can go find out about it. And the older critics were really big on doing research and learning and, becoming better critics about Scientology. But the younger kids, not so much, not really. I mean, they'll ask me, what is Scientology? And it's like you've only asked me 8,000 times. So anyway, I'm trying to help educate them, but you can't say, there's a lot of things you can't say on TikTok. So that's a whole nother weirdo thing for me, because I'm, you know me, I swear, and you can't swear over there. So anyway, I try not to do that. You have to say unalived. You can't say the other one. There's just specific things that they have. I'll have to go in a bit, though. You can't go in a bit. How dare you? No, that's fine, Sophie. I appreciate that you even stopped in. It's tomorrow for her. So tonight for us is tomorrow for Sophie. Right? Do I have it right, Sophie? I think so. I think it is. I'm pretty sure, because it's almost tomorrow for us. In 20 minutes, it'll be tomorrow. So it's got to be tomorrow for her. But I think it's literally like tomorrow day for her, I think. Let me know, Sophie, if I'm right or wrong. I'm always trying to find out what the time zone is for my brother, too, because it's hard. Erica, hi. DM is such a high-level psycho that I don't think that it can be worse than him. But the system of CFS is abusive by design. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's based on policies written by L. Ron Hubbard, who trained DM. And, I don't see it. I really don't. I think once he's gone, that's going to be it. That's what I think. Oh, my God, I hate unalived. I'm Gen X, and I think it's the most snowflake thing I've ever heard. Me too. Thank you. Thank you so much. Wait, I got to get your name because I really appreciate it. Okay, Lady Jane, thank you so much, because that's how I feel. It's so flaky. And that we can't say, I don't even know now if on YouTube you can. So I'm just leaving it the way it is. But the fact that you can't talk about things that are very important, I think it's important to say those words. I really do. Hey, travelology. All right. Hello from your tomorrow. Here today, Monday morning. All right. Good. Where can you tell us where you're from? Same, Lady Jane. I'm glad you said that, though. I really am, because to me it's really flaky. JB808. I've gotten so used to hearing it on YouTube that unalive crept into my. Well, that's okay, because that's what you have to do. Otherwise, you really get, you can literally get some strikes. And if you get, I think, 3 strikes, and they can cancel your whole YouTube site. So it's better to just go with it. It's like, okay, it's weird, but somebody decided it was a thing to do. And it's not the worst thing that we have going on right now. The worst thing is the ICE and DT, as far as I'm concerned. Erica H, totally agree. Nope, not on YouTube, but they have true crime shows that say the M word all the time. I don't even know what the M word is. What is the M word? Can you say it? Can you spell it, or is that bad? See, I don't really know if all those rules. I've gotten so used to them over on TikTok, and I don't know if they're over here. Oh, okay. You can't say that, really? Wow, that's unbelievable. I mean, see, it's something that we hear every day, all day here in LA on the news all the time. I mean, it's like, how can they say you can't say it? I mean, come on. It's unbelievable. Well, I'll tell you, last night, or no, it was 2 nights ago, they had a big midnight protest here in the valley, right by me. And this soldier came out and started yelling. And he said, I did not give up years of my effing life to fighting the enemy, and to find out that the enemy is in Washington, D.C. And I thought, good for you. Good for you. I mean, he was out there just yelling. He didn't care. It was like, and everybody just stood back. They were just videotaping him. It was really cool. No, that's what you have to say, unalived. Okay, good to know. I think Iran is pretty intense, but get that the ICE thing is on your doorstep. Yeah, that's the thing. Iran, they both are. I mean, I feel awful about the Iranian. I mean, I just can't believe he said, I'll give you 2 weeks, and then bombed him the next day. I mean, what kind of a knucklehead is that? And I listened to last night till 3 or 4 in the morning. I listened to all these different generals. And I was telling my son about it because I said, they're like totally thrilled. They think it's fantastic. And he goes, yeah, that's because he already kicked out everybody that isn't totally supporting him. What a weasel. A true weasel. I dare you to come over to my house and talk to me. And don't try to send some bullies. That won't work. But yeah, I agree with you. Both of them are intense. The Iranian thing is super intense. My brother's over in Thailand, and a bunch of Israelis moved down to his island. The mother of his son is Israeli, so her family is in Israel. So he can give me up to date what's actually happening. And he said, it's unbelievable. They just like that. The sirens will turn off, and they all have to turn on, and they have to run down the street and get into a bunker underground so they're safe. I'm completely wrong and ignorant of the facts. All right. Well, thank you very much. You have a good night. And that's your opinion. And I understand that. And that's my opinion. And you know what? We can both have different opinions. I very much enjoyed being a part of your chat tonight, but I have to get some sleep. Okay, I understand. I'll be back. Much love to all. Thank you, Lady Jane Out. Thank you so much. And thank you for clearing that up with me. It really helped. So you sleep tight and have a good night and a good day tomorrow. There you go. Zinnias, you're completely wrong and ignorant of the facts. I can say the same for you. If you really think that way, if you're teasing, that's a different thing, but I don't think you are. But the difference, see, I was in a cult for 30 years. So I know what it's like to be in a cult. And in a cult, you cannot look at the other side. I listen to your side all the time. I listen to both sides. So I understand where each side is coming from. Whereas in a cult, it's like, no, don't tell us. We're right, you're wrong. So that's how you are. You're acting, you should read Steve Hassan's book, The Cult of Trump. It's really a good book, and it'll really teach you some stuff. Okay, good. So Lady Jane Out is out of here. All right. Just going to go snooze and sleep. Well, anyway, I hope you guys all hit the like button, please. It's one of those things that a lot of us forget to do, but it definitely helps apparently drive everything up so it stays higher. Hey, Dave Gibbons, how are you? Just a quick drive-by visit to say hello. Well, thank you. I love you, and we are having a wild time over here, I'll tell you. Be happy you're in Australia. New name, Tori came to the UK to do the protest. Think October, East Grinstead. Please. Were you there when we were there for the anonymous protest? Oh, how cool. Wow. Oh, you're saying come to the UK to do the protest. Think October, East Grinstead. Come not came. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah. Probably won't happen, but I would like to. But I'm certainly not traveling with all this shit going on. I'll tell you that right now. I would highly recommend, instead of October, you guys change it to the spring, because I think it's going to take a while to sort this stuff out. And traveling is tricky when you're in the middle of something like this. So that's my suggestion. And the springtime is a great time where you live. October is too. It's a fun time. But anyway, you were top on my YouTube list just now. Ah, well, I'm glad I was. And I'm happy you came by to say hi, Dave. And please give your lovely wife a hug for me. And tell her I miss both of you greatly. I really do. I was just telling someone the other day that you're just one of those people that I'm so happy you're part of my life. I really am. It means a lot to me. It's not like a little bit. It's like a lot. New name. It links with Scientology's fundraisers. So the date. Oh, I gotcha. Okay. Well, I gave you my 2 cents. Hi, Tori. Did you see that Chicago is in a heat wave? Oh, God. Hi, Charles. I'll never miss those hot and humid summers back in that part of the country. Isn't that the truth? I almost, as soon as the summer comes, I think, thank God I'm not in Chicago. It's like, oh, what's worse is than the heat is the humidity. And Florida has the same thing. I remember going to the OT7 and getting off the plane and in Clearwater, and that humidity would just hit you. It'd be like, oh my God. I mean, even in the wintertime, in which their weather's relatively better, but they still got the humidity. It's there. They don't in Chicago, but they do in Florida. And it's cold down here in the southern. Oh, yeah, that's right, because it's wintertime for you. I think it's wintertime for Dave, too, in Australia. Yeah, because you guys are really close to each other. So I think Dave you both are in the same area as far as, I always forget that our summer is your winter. But Dave used to remind us of it. Hi, Jamie. How are you? That's an interesting name. Jamie Pimentel El Bay. All right. You got to give us the history on that one. Tell us. Thanks for coming by. And please, everyone, hit the like button. Not bad, Tori. Not bad, Tori. Okay. Morning, Tori. Hi, Born Ancient. And everyone. It's 7:50 a.m. here in North Wales. Oh, you lucky dog. Great to see you on TikTok spreading the vital information to the younger generation. Isn't it the wildest thing? I love it. I really do. The ironic thing is that I asked people for years to make this video, and they just wouldn't. Nobody would do it. And I thought, all right, I'll make it. I can't speak in Spanish, but I can tell people about it. and they can pass it on. And man, 7.2 million views on that one. It's like, wow. So it's pretty cool. Okay, so Sophie says, yes, it's winter in Australia, but in some parts it's always hot. Really? Tropical north and deserts. Dave, is it hot where you are or is it cold? I don't know if he's still on, but if he is, oh, there he is. Sunny days in Sydney right now, but pretty cold once the sun goes down. Well, that's not too bad. That's not like real winter by any means. Okay. And Jamie says, I have El Bay to mock the Moorish sovereign citizen. I love some of the history behind different nicknames. It's just so incredible. That's amazing. I have El Bay to mock the Moorish sovereign citizen. Who knew? Thank you for letting us know, though. And Dave, thank you for letting me know that it's sunny there. That's nice. So if I ever move to Australia, which I would in a minute if I could, I'm moving to Sydney because I could handle that. We're having a heat wave in the UK. Wow, 30 Celsius, and people are losing it. I'm still wearing long pants and a top, used to hot weather. A heat wave. Wow, that's different. And Sophie, it's hot in Darwin and North Queensland. Tropical, but Melbourne is colder than where I live in winter. Ooh, wow. Hi, Katie Light. Hi, Precious Story. Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming by. It's good to see you. We're having a fun time. Just having a little kind of a Sunday night chit chat. And if you have any questions, let me know. Nobody ever asked me any questions, though. Hardly ever. Well, they do. TikTok does a whole bunch. They do all the time. I guess you guys know my story, so it's sort of like you don't really have many questions. But that was a good one JB808 came up with. I think you can ask that wherever you go, JB808. I really think that's a good question. It is. Yeah, it's good to see her. It is. I love when these people swing in. It's good. And thank you, Sophie, for being here as long as you have. We're seasonal. Or we're seasoned. Yeah, exactly. You're educated. That's what it is. Hi, Tori. Much love from the Netherlands. Oh, I love that. Peter and Marga Van Essen. Wow. Now that's another. That sounds like your name. Is that your name? Maybe it's Peter and Marga. I think N means and. Let me know. I know. Good to see Sophie always. There are always questions, Tori. Okay. I like hearing the general questions, though. Really? That's good. Okay, here's one from 49ers for Life. Do you think Scientology will ever release OT 9 and 10? Now, because here's what happened. Miscavige got rid of any of the smart people that could have written it. And I mean, I hate to say it, but I just don't think he has it in him. He's not really a Scientologist, I don't think. This is my opinion, having met him only one time, but having been on OT7 and seen how shitty he treated us, I don't think he really is in the same place as Hubbard was at all. And I think he's a really abusive guy. We know that because he's kind of a gangster, that kind of thing. And, he doesn't know how to do OT 9 and 10. I mean, first of all, you have to realize from OT 3 on, it hasn't worked. Not really. I know it did for Dave. Dave had wins on it. But I know a lot of people where OT3, OT5 is just another takeoff on OT3. And OT6 is the training for OT7. And OT7 is just another layer of OT3. So how many times can you sell someone OT3? I just don't think it's going to happen. It would take some very creative minds to come up with 10, 9, and 10. And guess who has it paid for? Me. Yeah, my mother and father-in-law bought 2 packages of OT 9, 10, and 11. So I have 9 to 11 paid for. And they gave me one of the packages before they passed away. Sending love from Pasadena. Thank you, no one. My son was just over there today. Peter and Margot Van Essen. Oh, Marga is my name. Peter is my husband. That's what I thought. Yeah. So it's husband and wife. Yeah. And Essen is your last name? Yeah. Did I get it right? Well, I'm glad to know you. Thank you for coming. Are you subscribed here? If you are, please, wonderful. And if you're not, please do. Okay, Born Ancient says, you being on TikTok is really helpful. Wow, really? Great. I work with 14 and 18-year-old explorer scouts in Wales. They head to universities in the UK, so I try to warn them about Scientology before they go to the university. Okay, I'll make a video about it. I will. Thank you, Born Ancient. That helps me. 49ers fan, the question I bet every Scientologist wonders about and doesn't ask, which was, do you think Scientology will ever? No. I just don't. I mean, he doesn't have it in him. If he did, he would have run the church way differently. That's my opinion from when he first took it over. And he didn't. He ran it like a bully. And he's been that way, and that's the way he is, and that's it. Hey, Audit LA, how are you? I miss you. I agree he's not a Scientologist. Thank you, Dave. See, you're the seal. You're my Izzy or isn't he? And I just thought I'll just put it out there, but that's how I feel. But I'm glad you do too, because, the whole church would have been different if he would have really been a Scientologist and really cared about people. It would have been different. And now it's just, trashed. It really is. I'll tell you, there's we saw, Spanky and I just watched it. It's a short mini series called Department Q, and it's on Netflix. And it's hard. It's rough to watch. I almost quit. I really did. But it's so worth it. It's really good. It's heavy though. But I don't know why it made me think of that. But just abusive people, they definitely had some there. Hey, Audit, thank you again for everything you did with the protest. Dave is afraid of Teton, so he's stuck. Oh, David is. Now, this is David who? And I don't know what Teton is. That's why it's so perverted now. Yeah, exactly. Because he never was one. Cult of Scientology, Tori, during your 30 years, did you hear anything about LRH unleashed the Excalibur? I remember hearing about the Excalibur, but I don't remember what it was. Dave, do you remember anything about it? He'd probably remember better than me. I don't really. He had so many wacky things that he'd come up with. It was funny because Drew and I one time, I drove around. Drew was never in Scientology, but he's a good critic, and he helps me protest. And so I said, let me show you the old buildings. And so the original big AO and Celebrity Center and everything else, they were all down around 8th Street, which is kind of a crummy area here in LA. But that's where they were. And I used to live in 811 Beacon Street, and which is right down the street from Celebrity Center. And I'm showing them these buildings. Here's this, here's that. We get up to 811 Beacon Street, and I just burst out crying. I mean, I think the whole video, the whole set is on here, the tour of me and Drew, but you have to find it, poke around. But it's on my YouTube site. And I just burst out crying. And he started laughing. He thought I was laughing. And all of a sudden he realized, oh my God, she's not laughing, she's crying. And he said, what's going on? And I said, it's just, I lived here in the early 70s. And it was just like we all had so much hope back then. It was like there was so much excitement. It's stuff that you guys can't even imagine because Scientology's gotten so weird. It doesn't happen. Like Spanky and I are going to make a video about it because she feels the same way I do. The early days, it was fun. It really was. And there was so much hope, and there were so many people alive. And a lot of Scientologists have died since then. I mean, they die like flies. It's pathetic. And so anyway, it made me cry. It did. It was just like, oh my God. But there you go. I have a question. I want to join the group protesting here in Hollywood, but I live and work too close to the Scientology org and don't want them following me. Is anyone protesting at other LA orgs? I don't know that anybody's protesting at the orgs that much. I mean, Audit, thank God, set up the protest that we had recently. But I don't know. But what I would say is just wear a hat, wear a scarf, you know what I mean? So they can't see who you are. And then I think you don't have to worry about it. Wear a disguise, some kind of a disguise, glasses, stuff like that, sunglasses, so they can't see who you are. Are you in Scientology? No, I'm not. I was in Scientology for 30 years. That's a fair question. But I woke up in 2000 after 30 years of being in, and I thought I was just going to leave. But Scientology canceled my van. The plane was canceled. The vice president was at LAX, came clicking down the hall saying, we know where you're going. You're not going there. And thankfully, these people in Florida who got me the ticket to come there said, bring a phone. Now, that might sound funny to you guys, but back in 2000, very few people had phones. We had these little flip phones for like emergencies. That was it. And I said, oh, Stacy, they don't do anything like that. I really didn't think they did. And she said, you know what, Tori, we used to run these programs. We know what we're talking about. Bring a phone. So I brought the phone. And now when the vice president came up to me and said, we know where you're going. You're not going there. I got out my phone and I said, Stacy, the vice president is here. I mean, I was freaked out. It really freaked me out. It changed me right then, I think, from Scientologist to activist. It was like, no. This is, I am not going to be the effect of you. No. And that's for you guys, Osa. No. Hey, Audit, I know. It's great to have her on here. Thank you. Peter, all right. Or I guess it's Marga is saying yes. How's everyone? We're as good as we can be considering what's going on out at LA. It's, this happened when my son left. He was burned out of the Eaton fires. He lived up in, I forget the name of it, but it's above Pasadena. And so he at the time he came here, we thought just for a night. But luckily, he was smart enough to bring everything. So he pretty much had everything he needed. And of course, obviously, the next day, the whole town was burned down. So we were talking about how awful it was. And I said, but I want you to remember something. Today, find something that is good and appreciate it. Because tomorrow is going to get worse because of Donald Trump. And that has gone on, where it's just like, oh my God. So anyway, it's been kind of, seeing these ICE people is just insane. And now these bombings, it's like, come on. Okay, new name. I can't read that, but they can. Dave Mayo told me Ned for OTs, OT 567 was a repair. Yeah. The stupid errors in OT3. Yeah, you told me that. Because I said I don't get it, and you explained that, and that really helped me, Dave. It really did. You know what happened to me with David Mayo? You want to hear something fun? Because remember we were on Scientology.net, and he came on there one night as David Mayo. But a lot of people would take someone's name and use it, so I wasn't sure if it was really him. And I had written him a letter, and he'd written me a 6-page handwritten letter back. So I knew he knew who I was, because I made it very clear. So thank you, Pete or Marga. Thank you. I appreciate that. So anyway, he comes on Scientology.net, and I think, okay, is this really David Mayo or not? So I go on and I take him in one of those private rooms. Remember, you could go in a private room, and I said, is this really David Mayo or not? And he goes, yeah, it is. And I said, do you remember our communication? And he gave me a few things to let me know it was. And I said, all right, here's my phone number. Call me when you can, because I want to talk to you. So now we talk. We're on the phone. We're talking. It was really great. And it was just really great to talk to him and connect up outside of the church. For people that are on that don't know, he was like way, 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 way up, almost, I guess, with Hubbard, around there. He was what's called a CS, a case supervisor. And then he was in charge of tech internationally. That's why I wrote him the letter, because anyway, that's a long story. But anyway, Audit LA, good, thank you. How are you? Happy to see two of my faves here. Eaglewood, hello from Belgium. Oh, that's sweet. Chat and mods. On live, Audit LA, that's the best I can say for me. And Audit says, great, and you, love seeing you the last week. I know, we got to get together for sure. I agree with you, your take on DM. Yeah, it was fun. It was really fun to talk to him. I've got some other things to tell you, but it'll be in private. Sophie, I agree with Tori. I don't think Davey is capable of cheating the levels or creating the levels. No. He's a product of Elron's policy, not an inventor. I don't even know if he's really a product of the policies. I think his dad said, in his book that he was pretty rough on him, beat him up and stuff like that. I think he's kind of a bully. I really do. I'm glad that's the case, Kate. That's sweet. JB808. It is. We admire. Thank you. Thank you for being there. You are welcome. I thank you for helping us do that. We've got to do it more often. I do think. I really do. I did have a great time. I did. I loved meeting Rib Guy. I know DOA is going nuts about how awful he is, but you know what? He's not. He really helped out a lot that day. I don't know if you watched it, but he really helped in a lot of different things. He was all over the place helping people. I watched Department Q too. I liked it. Yeah, it was intense, huh? Woo! We just got to the end tonight. Audit LA, great job. Yeah, organizing the protests. Yeah, truly. I hope you're proud of the turnout and can decompress and relax a little. Yeah. Yep, Audit LA, I love what you do. Yeah, me too. She's something else. She really is. That's a cool sounding address, like a Sherlock Holmes address. I know, isn't it? It's very cool. And apparently they're going to have more, so that'll be good. We have the most respect for you, Tori. I try to be on your live every time. I hope Scientology is gone soon. Thank you. I think we agree with you. I think we're all in the same boat. It's time. It really is. Looking forward to another Tori plus Spanky collabo. Yeah, I know. We got to do it. I asked Hubbard about the Excal. Okay, I knew Dave would have something in a letter. And he said most of Excalibur was in the late book, What to Audit and History of Man. Yep. So that's sort of not really an answer for anyone here, but I get what he was saying. I am who you say I am. Hey, thanks for coming by. They used to say, if it isn't fun, it isn't Scientology. Right. We used to say that all the time. Can't say that anymore. I'm in the protests at Pasadena sometimes. Yep. And the other thing we would always say when we protested here, within the last probably 15 years, we would be protesting and we would say, find out about Scientology. It's worse than you think. Because this was back when everybody said, oh, it's a religion. It was like, no, it isn't. There's North Hollywood. I would go with others. Yeah, I'd go. That's true. North Hollywood. I don't know North Hollywood, but I know there's the one on Burbank Boulevard. That one too we could do. I don't know where North Hollywood, where the Scientology thing is. Thank you for answering my question. You are welcome, Erica. Thank you for asking. By the Alley Org. Yes. Hi, Audit. I don't know the Alley Org. You must mean the Valley Org. I know one. David Miscavige is afraid of BTs, so he's screwed. Sorry for my poor grammar, Tori. Don't worry about it. You're right. You got the communication off. Thank you, no one. Pasadena would be great. Yeah, Pasadena would be good. That's a good idea, but that's kind of a long way for Audit, I think. Okay, there's Audit saying Pasadena is a good one. All right, good. North Hollywood is cool. Thank you, Audit LA. Yeah, I think Pasadena would be really fun because they never have anybody there. And I don't know, I just think it would. Audit LA, thanks for all of the amazing, this is 49ers for Life. Thanks for all the amazing work you put in. We are all so grateful for your passion and kindness. Yeah, that's very true. Thank you, 49ers. Yeah. How about protesting a field staff member, auditor, field group thingy? Aren't those still a few around? I wouldn't do that. Because to me, it's like if they're winning and they're using the tech and they're not hurting anybody. See, I speak out against the abuses. I don't speak out about Scientology. People can believe what they want to believe. And it's like, if they want to put their money into it, we've all made it very clear that it's a lot of money. And there's a lot of other ways you can find out about it. But I'm not going to protest a field group because those guys they're happy with what they're doing. And I think they have a right to do it. The senior case supervisor international, he developed Ned for OTs. That's right. That's right. Will Jen be in trouble for setting up the meeting that let me talk to the person who grants their permits? I don't know. It's hard to tell who's going to be in trouble with Scientology. If somebody's ass needs to be on the line and there's nobody else, yeah, she'll be in trouble. Otherwise, I don't think so. All right, keep up the great protests. I'll cheer you from the Southern Hemisphere. Wintertime now. Ooh, so you're amongst a few. There's Dave Gibbons is from Australia, and Sophie's from New Zealand. So there you go. And there may be others. Those are just the two I know. Let's do more. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I love protesting. I really do. A force to be reckoned with, both of y'all. Yep, truly. You're doing great on TikTok, Tori. Thank you, Audit. I know, isn't it amazing? I mean, it just sort of popped. Like I was telling these guys, I have been saying to people for a few years now, somebody needs to make a video really letting the kids know Scientology is after you and people from other countries so that they know they're after you, because they are. I mean, they're actively recruiting them. You know what I mean? And people are nice and they just don't know. So I was hoping someone would make it in other languages, but that didn't happen. So I thought, all right. So someone said, why don't you just make 3 1-minute videos on TikTok? So I thought, all right, I will. And that one was the one that took off. It's 7.2 million tonight. Wow. Oh dear, Tori. Can't say that about Rip Guy. Now we will get a whole segment dedication to how terrible you are, but we think you're great. I know, I hear you. I kind of know that there's a group of people that really have something against him, but you have to remember, I lived through that. So I know what it's like. And it's often everybody that was against me. And it took me years to calm the thing down, because I mean, they had OSA feeding these people lies after lies after lies about me. It was frightening. But I mean, it's amazing I lived through it. It really is, because back then hardly anybody would speak out because they didn't want to get hurt themselves. So it was pretty scary. That's what got me to go TikTok, time is on our side, because it was sort of like I knew eventually people would speak out. And I knew that truth is on our side. They don't have truth. They have to keep lying. That's why they have to keep creating the black PR on anybody. So to me, if somebody's an activist, which Rib Guy is, support them. It's like, don't tear them down. That's exactly what they want to have happen. And you can say, well, he works for OSA. No, he doesn't. He doesn't. Okay, Valley Life Improvement Center. Okay, owned by Hackman. It's on Yelp. I wonder if it's Joe Hockman. Does Joe Hockman own the Life Improvement Center? Really? I wonder if it is. Yes, that's the one. Burbank Boulevard. Oh, that's in North Hollywood. Okay. Yeah, that'd be good. That's a good one. And it's always dead. It is. Boomer Wealth Hoarders. Boomer Wealth Hoarders. Okay. And Audit said, Bike Guy's eye doctor is out there in Pasadena. Well, Pasadena and Burbank Boulevard are 2 way different areas. So we got to decide which one. That's a great way to look at it. What's a great way to look at it? That makes sense, Tori. Thanks for the info regarding the field group. Yeah, I just, it's just, to me, it's like, how this came about is I originally, when I left in 2000, I was against everything. And of course, everybody was against me. So I was going on about everything. And someone said, you know what, you're a religious bigot. And I said, no, I'm not. And they kept saying it. And so I thought, all right, I'm going to look up what a religious bigot is. And I realized, you know what, they're right. I was sounding like a religious bigot. And I'm not. So I changed my way of approaching things, which is, it doesn't matter to me. If you want to do Scientology, do Scientology. But if you're going to break up families, stop free speech, medical abuse, roping in kids to billion-year contracts, fair game, fraud, all of that stuff, that's not okay. And I'm here to speak out about it. And I told Miscavige that in 2000. I said, I am here. As long as you're breaking up families and stopping free speech, you will see me here. And he has run programs on me. I have a 25-step program to muzzle Tory. Way to go, Osa. That really worked, didn't it? It's like I've told them a million times, the more shit you do, the more I'm going to speak out. And I told them that when I started my YouTube site because they were right on it. And I said, you know what? Here's my policy. You screw me once, I'm going to screw you twice, period. And I do. Someone asked about Excalibur. It's a big mystery sandwich for some people. I thought, why not just as Ron just ask Ron. Yeah, good idea. Good idea. You're smart, Dave. Nate, you don't care about any of this. It's kind of a grift after all these years. You don't even know me. You've never talked to me. And to say something like that is so offensive. It's like, I don't care about any of this. Yeah, I'm just doing it as a grift. No, that's a complete and utter flat out lie. And every person you say that to, unless you know them personally and you've talked to them and you have proof on it, shut up. There you go, Nate. Gloria. Hi, Tori. Audit LA. I agree. All right. JB808. Right. I don't know what you guys are agreeing on or right. So let me know. That's a good outlook for your TikTok, Tori. TikTok. Oh, time is on our side. That's for everything. It's even here. It's like truth is on our side. And it's a really good way to think about things because then they can lie all they want. But that's what they do. That's why people say, why don't you sue them and get the libel off of the internet? And I go, why? That's proof that they fair game. That's my proof. All the rest of the stuff is like, I send reports to the Burbank Police Department so they know when they do stuff. But, as far as proving it, that's the biggest one. Agreed, Tori. I'm taking the PSS with the crazy situation. I don't know. I don't know what that means. I need to know more about Joe Hockman. Okay, Joe Hockman, I think, is OT8. He's a Scientologist. And I only know him because I knew him from Scientology. He was in Scientology. And, he's probably, if he's out, he's probably an independent. But I think that's a real Scientology center, isn't it? No one, I believe Excalibur had been parsed and recycled into later Skio books. Yes, Joe Hockman and his wife. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they did a communication course, and I went and watched it, and it was a nightmare. And I will say that. It was awful to see these kids. It was just, it's not right. That kind of thing is not right. And I'll say it. I don't care if he hears it. Erica, I'm so excited to do Pasadena or Burbank. Thanks for the replies, guys. Good, Erica. All right, well, we got to figure out a date and then we can do it. Do I have a program now or only for those who were in? I don't know, Audit. I really don't. I only have mine because Marty Rathman gave it to me. And I think he only gave it to me because he had a blog. I don't know if you guys know Marty or anything, but he was kind of up in the church. And he left and had this blog. And everybody on the blog, as far my opinion, was like, hail, Marty, you're the greatest. You're the best thing ever. And I was like, okay. But, I'd go on once a week and I'd say, look, I just want you guys to know there are people like Jesse Prince, Jerry Armstrong, people like that. They left in the night. There was no internet. They left all alone in the night. And, those people should be acknowledged too. And I would say it over and over, like once a week. I'd say that. Nobody ever talked to me. They'd never acknowledge it. So one guy was nice to me on it, and I will never forget him. Because that's how things are. You never forget someone like that. You think, you know what? Not one person will talk to me, but this one guy would be nice to me. And I think, all right, thank you. So all of a sudden, I get an email from Marty, and he goes, "Open up a Hotmail account." And I think, uh-oh. To me, it was like, you have to go to the principal's office and you're going to get bawled out. I thought he was going to say, "What are you doing on my blog? Get off of it. You're not an independent. Stop posting on it." Right? That's what I thought. So I opened up this Hotmail account, and it's some kind of a thing where, you have to have each other's codes and all this, so it's top secret. And all of a sudden, I open it up thinking he's going to bawl me out, and it opens up for your eyes only. And it's a 25-step program written by the Church of Scientology to muzzle Tory. The goal was to muzzle Tory. And I was like, thank you, Marty Rathman. You might have fucked up on a few things after you left, but that one I'll always thank you for. So Audit, I don't know if you do, many people would like to have their programs. It's like there's tons of people who have done a lot of active things against the church, but they don't have their program. I think mine was just because I did keep coming all by myself. Nobody else was there. And I just kept saying what I said, which was, there's people before Marty. And he obviously had the program, and so he thought, all right, here it is. Yeah, it was really like, I really appreciated it, because it was like, it's really deep. I mean, it's intense. I mean, just unbelievable, the shit that they wanted people to do to shut me up. And of course, that worked. The cult put the field auditors through so much and charges them so much too. Yeah. Well, they don't pay Scientology. The field auditors, the ones that I know, have already left the church, and they're like independents. That's what they call themselves. That's ridiculous. We learned so much from Tory. Yeah, it was ridiculous. I'm not sure which thing you're saying is ridiculous, so let me know. Never forget, folks, Narcotics Anonymous is not the same as Scientology Narcanon. Thank you. The easy way to remember is Narcanon has the word con in it. Good point. That is a very good point. I love that. Thank you. Katie Light. Take care, everyone. It's time for my nurse. Wow. All right. Some more testing. I will come back, Sophie and Tori, as long as I'm breathing. Thank you. That's the way I feel. We'll be here as long as we're breathing. There you go. Well, all right. Have a wonderful day tomorrow. Sleep tight. And thank you, Katie Light, for coming on. I am who you say I am. Take care, Kate. JB808, agreeing with trying to take down Scientology instead of other activist protest streamers. Yeah. And it's the abuses of Scientology that really need to be exposed. Those are the things that are going to bring it down. Is he related to DA? To who's DA? I mean, DOA? Is who related to him? Oh, is he related to the DA? I don't know what that means. You have to tell me what DA means. I don't know. Hi, hey everyone. Friday it's Tori's birthday. Shh. I told you I'm going to keep it lit all this year. Hello, Tori. Thank you. Love it. Hi, Eric. Hello from Culver City. How are you? Happy birthday. Thank you, love. Thank you, Audit LA. Thank you. Happy birthday for Friday. Thank you, guys. The movie Jaws turned 50 this week. Wow. That's amazing. I hope they show it. Tori, do you plan on giving a live on your birthday? Yeah, it's a Friday. I think so. I mean, I don't know. I'll see, but I'm not really planning on doing anything big. Artie did some good stuff before he got bought off. I know. It was too bad. It really was. It was too bad that all went down the way it did. Thank you, no one. I appreciate it. All right, in Eaglewood, Mazel tov, Scientology. Tori is still speaking out. Thank you. I know. I'm really proud of all of us. It's really great. Nate was ridiculous. I don't know who Nate is. Oh, Nate that was here saying that yeah, whatever. You know, that's I'm glad he said it, because that's one of we used to call it third party in Scientology. And I still love that term. You know, Dave probably knows, there's certain terms that just work. And that's one of them. It just does. The third party is where, two people are friends and a third person comes in and starts talking to one of them. And they're like, you don't really like that person, do you? And pretty soon, they were really close friends, and it gets farther and farther apart. And they can't see that there's a third person basically running this program against them. And it can happen in friendships. It doesn't just happen in Scientology. But anyway, that's what I think. It's classic third party. And I have read it about Rib God. They said that about him. Oh, he's just doing that, and it's like, it's not. It's a lot of people, I thought about it. I thought, it's a miracle that I stayed in as long as I did. With the amount of shit that they've thrown my way, I could have any time, any day stepped away and just said, you know what, screw all of you. But Bob Minton said it to me, and I'll never forget it. He was the multimillionaire who bought me the plane ticket to go to Clearwater. And I had heard a bunch of third party about Bob Minton and how he was really getting paid by the drug company and all this stuff. And I bought it. I thought it was true. And so now I'm out of Scientology, over in Clearwater with Bob Minton. And he's a wonderful person, or he was. He passed away, but he was a wonderful person. And so I said, Bob, I have to tell you, I'm really sorry. I explained what I just told you. And I said, I've said this to more than one person, and I'm really sorry. It was totally wrong. And he goes like this. He goes, he's a big guy, and he has a really beautiful voice. And he goes, you think that's it, Tori? You think that's it? You're just going to tell me you're sorry, and that's going to be it? No, Tori. You, and this is true for every Scientologist, I really think, he said, you supported that organization for 30 years. So you need to make up the damage. I don't know that I had to keep, it'll be my 25th anniversary coming up. I don't know that I had to do it that long. But every time I make a video and stuff, I think of Bob. I think I love him. I want to thank him. If he hadn't been there, it wouldn't have happened. I wouldn't have been able to leave. So that was really cool. Joe Hockman, yeah. District Attorney Hockman? I don't think that's the same guy. I don't think he's a district attorney. There might be two of them that have that name. No audit. Yeah, different Hockman. Yeah, this guy's a Scientologist. I wonder if they're related, though. I doubt it. I really do. I don't get the hate. Yeah, I don't either, but I lived through it, so I understand it. It's like now it's so mild compared to what I lived through. I mean, it was a madhouse in 2000, and very few people. There were like 4 or 5 people that would stand up for me and help me, and a lot of people, they were there and they were saying stuff against Scientology, but they wouldn't back me up, and it was rough. It really was. Audit LA, Nate is an OSA troll. He's gone for good. Thank you, love it. I'm glad, because that's what I thought. I thought this guy's got to be an OSA troll. Many Scientologists, but I was glad it was a good example of, I've read that same line in other things. And I thought, okay, good. So, come on and give it your best shot. Many Scientologists inside still probably think Anonymous was paid by Big Pharma. Yeah, right. Yeah, you're probably right. That's their lies. They have to keep lying. See, that's the thing. That's why I say tick tock, time is on our side, because they're not going to win. You can't win lying. You just can't. And you guys in OSA, you know it. Yachty, come out of here. Your wife has already passed away, for Christ's sake. I don't know why you're even staying there. I really don't. Look at how much this group of critics has expanded, and ex-Scientologists and more people. And it's like, what are you guys doing? You're not helping the planet. That's what you got into Scientology for. We all got into Scientology to clear the planet. And that's not happening. Look at what a mess the planet is. If any OTs were around, any of them, they would, per what Hubbard said an OT was, who was cause over matter, energy, space, and time, they would be able to help this whole situation. But they can't because they're not OTs. That's my opinion. Sorry, Dave. I know for you, you might be the one OT on the planet. Third party is also called triangulation. Okay, outside of Scientology. But I like the term third party better. It explains it better. It really does. Yeah, triangle. I've heard of triangulation, but it's more complicated. My Samsung Galaxy 22 Ultra doesn't work anymore. I'm upgrading to a new phone, a Samsung Galaxy 25 Ultra. I'm on my laptop right now. Okay, Eric, go. You're affecting kids that weren't even born when you left. I know. That's the thing. It's like I'm 77. I'm going to be 78 next week. I mean, I'm an old person. I've been reading these descriptions as people are like, oh, yeah, there's this old lady that's out at the protest. I never thought I'd be called an old lady. It's really funny. And go ahead, OC, you can do it all you want. I really don't give a shit. I am old. It's like there's a point where you have to go, you know what? I'm an older person. That's all there is to it. So thank you, Audit, though. I appreciate it. Thank God for Bob Minton. I know, really, truly, because he really inspired me. He did. I mean, I would have made videos and spoken out, but I don't know if I would have done it as long as I have. He really put it in me that it's like, no, you've got some work to do, Tori. I have T-Mobile. Me too. Yeah. Hey, Danny, Tori, hi. It was good to see you, Danny. It always is. It's always good to see you. I'm always happy you're around. I wonder how much Scientology paid for their magic Frost on Demand glass shop front. I don't know what that is. What is this? What is a Frost on Demand glass shop front? Is that a joke or that's for real? That's amazing. Yeah. I definitely thought you were in your early 60s, Tori. You look great. Thank you, Erica. I know. I that's what I tell people because that's why I put the purple in my hair. I don't know if you saw the purple because he just redid it. It's a little bit too dark right now, but after I wash it a couple of times, it'll be cool. But I just wanted to put a little streak in my hair. And he said, well, I'm just going to have it kiss your cheeks. And this side, see, it's on this side too. And it's just a little bit on each side, but I was only going to do it kind of as a joke because I turned 70 and I just thought it's so weird to be 70. I've got to do something. So I put the purple in my hair and it's just been every day. People go, wow, I love the color of your hair. So I thought, I'll keep it. It's something fun. I'm guessing they paid a lot. I definitely thought you were okay. Thank you. Thank you for saying that, Erica. I appreciate that. Yep, I'm that. My older brother's a year older, and then I have an older brother that's 4 years older than me. So we're all old, but we all agreed, hey, we've had great lives. We've all three lived very weird, very unusual, very different lives, but we're all happy. And so we're like, hey, if we die tomorrow, celebrate our life. Don't be like, oh, I really miss that person. It's like, I've made over 1,000 videos. You're going to be able to listen to me forever. I'm guessing they paid a lot. Okay. Hey there, Tori. Stasha. Ooh, hi. Well, that was a long drive by. I must have gone around the block 10 times. Oh, Dave, you're so much fun. You suck me in, Tori. I love you. See you next time. I love you too, Dave. Thank you so much. Bless your heart for coming by. You're always a top on my list. So thank you so much. And have a good day tomorrow, which is probably tomorrow now. And say hi to Jenny for me. And hey, Danny, Tori is forever young at heart. That's true. That is very true. Thank you for mentioning that. How are you guys doing? We're good. I think everybody's good as we can be with the ice thing and this bombing, and it's nuts. Frost on demand is the windows that frost. That is funny. I don't know if you guys were around when we had the protests. This was years ago before they had the frost on demand. That is a riot. I love that. They put blankets on the windows, and we started calling it blanket tech online, because I thought there's no way I would stay in a building if the group put blankets around a window so we couldn't see out. I would be like, I'm out of here. That's it. But the frost on demand, that is a riot. That is really funny. Good, Danny. How about you? Yeah, how are you, Danny? You're now living up here, right? She looks like she's in her early 20s. That's because I feel like it. That's the thing that happens is, the neat thing is that once you hit 70, it's the best time of my life. My brothers feel the same. It's like we love being in our 70s, and my oldest brother in his 80s. It's like it's weird because you think it's going to be awful, but it isn't. Press a button. And that's why I tell people how old I am, because, people are kind of like, I don't want to get to be that old, but it's not bad. It's old is in your mind. I was telling some guys once I think on a YouTube site about a kid that stayed at my house overnight. Good night, Dave Gibbons. Their glass at the Welcome Center now can turn opaque to block. Yeah, right. I hear you. It's cute and sassy. I want frost on demand windows. That is funny. I love that. That is really funny. Audit. I'm pretty exhausted. Finished work at about 10. Woo, that's long. That is a long day. Purple is a ribbon color in support of fibromyalgia. All right. Okay. And Stasha says, I turned 60 in January and everyone is shocked. They guess me 10 to 15 years younger. You're only as old as you feel. Exactly. That's it. So but that's why I tell people, so they don't have to worry about it, because it's really fun. It is. Like someone told me, a celebrity said it the other night, and she said, what's so great about turning 70? You don't care anymore what people think about you. It just doesn't matter. That's it. And that's why I put the purple in my hair. I thought, okay, if you don't like it, tell him, tell her, tell somebody else. I'm 70. I have a right to do it. All right, new name. That's too funny. Okay. Did you see the video where Erin is talking to the CFS member and she calls the police? Wow. She estimates him at 35. He says, I'm 44, but look good because I left the cult. All right. Good. That is funny. You're leaving a legacy behind for generations to come, whether you know it or not. Thank you, JB808. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I think that is true. Hi, Moon and Stars. Wow, we haven't seen you in a while. Thank you for coming by. All of you, thank you for coming by. You too, Audit. Blanket tech. I know. It was like we put it all over the internet. It was like Scientology's blanket tech. It's like, really, if you're staying in this organization and they're putting blankets on the window, you sure you want to stay? Audit LA, thanks for all you do. Yeah, I think all of us appreciate her. I don't know anybody. I've never heard anybody say anything but huge admiration to you, Audit. I mean, you're an amazing person. Hi, Moon and Stars. Here's my TikTok site. That's right. Thank you, Stasha. Audit LA. Hello, love. Thank you all for all you do. And Audit LA, thank you. And love it. Audit LA, it's so lovely to see how many people appreciate you. They really do. She's really put in the time and the work, and now she's getting the feedback, and it's good. Eric, you and my dad are a year apart. He turned 77 in February. He was born in 1948, and my mom is 71. She was born in 1954. Cool. Well, tell them both I said hi, and they did a great job with you. I'm really proud of you. Audit LA, it means a lot to me. I bet it does. It should. She appreciates all of us. Yeah. You're welcome, Audit LA. Let me say, as nice as possible, do not give time of day to all the haters. Just continue to do what you do and do not care what other people say. You aren't in a cult. I know, Danny. I already went through an amazing amount of hatred. Someday I'll retell it again, but it was unbelievable. In 2000 till 2008, till Anonymous showed up, I was hated around the world. And Scientology spread lie after lie. They put my name and my phone number on a porn site, and these porn guys called me. And, it was just like one thing after another. Flattened my tires, broke into my house, stripped my computer, stole all my receipts. That's how I got my SP declare, because they stole my receipts. Way to go, Osa. I outfoxed you. I'm really happy about that. I mean, that worked out great, because I called Flag. I said, yeah, I want to talk to Treasury. I need my receipts. And they said, who is this? And I said, it's Tori Bazazian. At the time, I was still married. And they said, all right, just a second. And they put me through, or maybe it was Tori Chris. No, it is. It's the SP declare says Tori Bazazian. Yeah. And, I left in July, and they declared me in September, like July, August, September, 2 months later. They didn't do any ethics handlings that they're supposed to do. It was really creepy. I mean, it was fun for me because I didn't care, but you're 70? No way. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Tori. Not this week. No, not this week. Cult-free and carefree. Yep. Someone pushed you down a long stairwell in Ireland. Right. They slammed me in the chest here in LA really hard. And the guy ran into the test center. So I knew there was nothing I could do. And then Anonymous flew us over to Ireland. No. Pete Griffith and Sam and John McGee flew us over. Me and I don't know, a few other people. Jerry Armstrong, I think they flew in. And they had a few different SPs, but Anonymous showed up. It was really cool. And then I wanted to see the Irish, the Dublin. I wanted to see their mission or whatever they had. So we go over there, and they have the little sandwich sign up, sandwich thing outside. And it says, all are welcome. And this guy's standing there like this, with his arms crossed. And I said, hey, man, what's happening? And he goes, nothing. And I said, nothing? Because I used to do Div 6, which is being outside talking to people. And I know that isn't what you're supposed to say. And I said, nothing? Good night, Audit LA. Thank you for coming by. Thank you. Thank you. Sweet dreams. So anyway, that was fun having her here. It really was. She's a great person. Um, anyway, they pushed me down the stairs. The guy ran inside, and then honestly, when she shut him down in 1 minute, and because in 1 minute he ran inside. So I followed him inside, and they had these super steep stairs. I mean, almost straight up. And so I just went up a few, and I looked at these guys that were hanging over the ledge, and I said, "What are you guys doing? This guy's outside saying it's not for everyone. When did that start?" And this guy comes flying around the thing and just shoves me. And I mean, he shoved me hard. And if John McGee hadn't caught me, I either would have been dead or paralyzed for the rest of my life. And I mean, you think, who would do that? How could you justify that? I mean, it was really unbelievable. But anyway, luckily, John McGee did catch me. So there you go. All right, you rascals. Well, anyway, it's been an hour and 40 minutes. I thank you greatly for coming on and for sharing and talking and asking questions. I really appreciate it. And I think the next time I'm going to be on is Wednesday. So I think, right? Wait, let me just see. Did I miss something? Thank you, Sasha. She said, "Hey, love it. Thanks for having Tori's back. Truly, it's really great. She and Sophie have been wonderful." Tori, you should make another video talking about all the tactics of fair gaming you've endured while you left. Yeah, I probably should. I certainly have made a bunch of them. Thanks for streaming, Tori. You are welcome. It's my pleasure. Yeah, it's great. All right. Well, anyway, I'm going to end off. So thank you all again, and I will see you Wednesday night. Thank you, Tori. Love it. And Sophie, have a good night. You too, JB808. I hope I see you Wednesday. Bye, you guys. Have a wonderful next few days. Remember to keep peace in your heart and spread kindness, no matter what's going on. There you go.